Welcome to the podcast. My name is Roy Wanguhu, and my guest today is Evan Lee. Evan Lee, take it away.
Hi, how's it going? Thank you for having me on the set today. So what I do is I'm mostly a DP, but I've done audio. I mostly do a lot of audio now. I've done directing. I've done camera work. I've done just about anything. Drones, 107 certified, everything. Computers, anything you need. Security cameras, I can do it all.
Nice, nice, nice. So, what is your journey coming up? Like, where did you, the bug, or how the passion to get to do this?
So my dad was a photographer, and he's always been a photographer, loved cameras. And then in seventh grade, I started doing a yearbook. So started taking a lot of photos, started playing with a lot of different cameras and stuff like that. And then got to play with the darkroom. So I went to Willard Middle School in Berkeley, and we had a darkroom inside the school.
Wow.
And then Looking Glass was actually across the street from our school.
Yeah.
So we basically got to go there, pick up film, and then bring it back and develop it. So it was a very interesting place to be.
Nice. And after that, what is your journey to be?
So I went to film school. Actually, in high school, I moved to Georgia, and I went to another film. It was like a film academy where
Okay.
half the day I would do real high school, and then we would drive 60 miles to another school, and they had $1 million studio with Avid. It was DVX 100Bs back then because it was like 2004, but we had everything we could play with, and just like stage stuff, audio stuff, anything we wanted to. So we got to play with that for basically half the year.
Oh, wow. That's. And what took you to Georgia? Was it the school that took you there, or you had family or anything?
So
that
yeah,
took you there?
my mom, she just wanted to change it up and move. She bought a house out there. We moved out there, and then I was there for 4 years, and I came back here for college. And then I went to the Art Institute, the Academy of Art, and then the Laney College.
Wow. Okay. And through all this, what kept you? What was a passion that what department or what passion kept you going through?
I think it's really technology, playing with technology, seeing like cutting edge technology. At first, I thought I wanted to be an editor. Not at all.
Okay.
I started learning like Premiere Pro and all that stuff in like middle school and thought I really wanted to be an editor. But when I got to college, that's what I majored as. But after my first major job of editing, which was for Wired Magazine, I never wanted to edit again professionally. So I stopped doing that and got into camera stuff.
Okay.
I think I would say I'm more about like on set short stuff where it's like you think about it, you shoot it, and then you never think about it again. I don't want to like, have weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks of shooting something. I like short little pieces where you just like you put all your passion into it for a couple weeks and then you forget about it.
Okay. And is that like short films? Is that like commercials? Like what kind of short projects would you be referring to?
So I've done it all. I have a couple of short films. I have a documentary. I have couple of commercials that I've shot. That like
Yeah.
healthcare commercials that are coming out.
Yeah.
I just got 2 Telly Awards back to back in 2 days.
Congratulations.
So I'm happy about those. But really, it's just like the passion about working with like a new team in a short amount of time. And it's like you get to know somebody really, really fast. And then basically you put all your heart into it and then you see what you get out of it.
That's pretty good. What kind of projects out of all this would you say, hey, this one inspires me to do this more, or I want to do more of this?
I would say corporate interviews I really, really like because it's like you get to meet a lot of like famous, intelligent people and you get to like be one-on-one with them and up close with them and listen to their stories. And it's like once you put those headphones on, you get to hear right then and there like their speech of what they're talking about. It's very, very interesting. And where we live at, it's like a huge tech world. So it's like getting to hear about AI or healthcare or like the cutting edge technology. And it's like you're not watching it on television, it's right in front of your face.
That's the beauty of being in the Bay Area, right?
Exactly.
It's like a lot of tech, comes from here,
Exactly.
and a lot of startups just around, backyards.
Exactly. One of my largest people is what is it called? Hold on 1 second. I can't even think of their name right now.
Are they a tech company or are they?
QuantumScapes. That's what it's
Quantum
called.
Scapes.
So it's a battery company. So they make pouch batteries. And it's pretty awesome getting to hang out with the CEO and talk to him about the batteries and the technology that's coming out. And it's cool to see that they just partnered with Volkswagen.
Okay.
So now they're going to put their batteries into Volkswagen.
Nice.
And being able to see that. And their stocks actually just went up to like $8 today. So,
okay. So you're saying we should buy that
Yeah.
stock?
Seeing it go from like $4 to $8 in the last
Yeah.
couple months is pretty interesting.
Did you buy?
I'm not allowed to buy, so because I work for the company, so I can't buy any stock because I know everything before it comes out.
Well, you're not Are you an employee?
No, but we have to sign NDAs for all of that.
Okay.
And it's all inside the contracts.
Okay. But hey, you should have negotiated stock options
Yeah, I wish.
on
but
that contract.
Yeah,
At least
yeah.
I can buy like 5 or 10. you know.
Exactly.
But
I wish.
that's pretty good that you get to be in these spaces. And for you on set, what would you say? Okay, this is Evan. Evan is where would you say your passion lies mostly? Because our industry is large, right? As you said, you can be cinematographer, you can be all this. Where do you feel like you're like, man, I'm turning those dials in like on point, or I'm lighting this thing like,
Basically, corporate interviews is what I really like, is because it feels like sky's the limit on those things, and you get to do whatever you want. And it's
in
like
what department would that
DPing.
be? DPing.
Yeah.
Ah.
So it's just like getting to go into these different rooms, and they have all these nice preset rooms.
Yeah.
And it's like you walk into a beautiful room and you just light it how you want to. And it's
Yeah.
just like dropping the CEO right in the middle of it. It's just pretty awesome.
That's pretty good. And you and I have had conversations of you're always on the edge on the cameras that you get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's funny getting to see it. Like, I always pick some off camera and get to play with it.
Yeah.
I started with reds. I loved reds, and the box camera is really where I like it. And it's like PIXIS wasn't there yet, so I went with Z camera. And now I'm starting to like the PIXIS more than the Z camera. The color of it, the ease of use, it's really, really, really nice.
That's pretty good. I know I don't know a lot of people with the Z camera, but we always had these conversations on the Z camera. And now from what I'm hearing from you, I should be looking at the PIXIS, which actually I think we've done a review. We're about to do a review on it. But you and I have had those conversations of what do you see is better between the Z and the PIXIS?
It's funny. The way that I look at the two cameras, if it's run and gun, I like the PIXIS.
Okay.
But if I'm able to light it and I'm able to have, all the lights I want to, I can really craft and light with the Z camera.
Okay.
And the reason why I actually bought the PIXIS was a documentary that I just shot for the mechanics. I'll talk about that later. But we basically, they heard about the PIXIS. They wanted to shoot on the PIXIS.
Oh, wow.
I bought the PIXIS. I bought 2 of them, actually. I set them up in the pre-light, and I didn't tell them which camera is which. Looked at the screen. Everybody looked at the screen. I said, which camera do you want? They sat there. They all decided. It took 15 minutes, and everybody chose the Z camera. So that's what we went with.
So the decision was the Z cam over the PIXIS.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a very interesting point of view, as the mechanics, they are producers, music producers.
They're music producers.
Right. Is it often that you get the client defining the tool that you use to tell the story?
Yeah, I would say so. A lot of the times the clients are usually asking for Sony or RA Alexas, but there's a lot of clients that I can persuade to using different things just because it's something that I own and it's something that I'm confident with. And at the end of the day, they want 1080p and they're putting it on YouTube. So it's like they have no idea.
That's true. Yeah, you're shooting all this power for 1080 video. What is your process on that? Of you have like let's talk about it since we're already halfway in it on like the mechanics documentary, right? What was your process for that?
So I was the DP for the mechanics documentary. At first it was called Pay the Producers, but we actually changed it up after looking at all the footage. Now we're going to turn it into a 3-part series. So now it's called Meet the Producers, where you basically meet every single producer from the Bay Area. We have Ant Banks. We have Pilo. We have E40, Too Short. There's a lot of other people that we have in there that are going to be pretty cool to show off and let everybody meet. The mechanics actually were in it too. And this is their first documentary. So getting them through the documentary, they didn't understand like the whole process of it and filming stuff. They've
Yeah.
directed music videos and stuff, but they've never really directed a long piece of content. And it was pretty interesting getting to see that, getting to work with them. And at first they were in kind of disbelief that it wasn't all going to go solid. But after the whole project went through, they were amazed. They were like, you know, a lot of people talk about their stuff, but a lot of people can't do what they talk about.
Mm.
And it's like everything I talked about with them happened. There was no hiccups. There was no, oh, we can't make this happen, or oh, we don't have enough cameras, or oh, we don't have enough tape for it. Everything was there. Audio was there. Everything's clean, so they're happy with it.
That's good. That's good. And for you as a filmmaker, I'm assuming you're relieved to see that happen.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome because I tried. So I had a robotic camera that goes back and forth, and I played around with it and did like some crazy angles with it. And everybody's like, "There's no way this is gonna cut. There's no way this is gonna work." But after seeing the trailer of it, everybody's like, "Now I see what you did with the robotic camera."
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting getting to see that work.
And that was it the dinner?
It was a Dana Dolly with a Modemo.
What do you call it? Motimo?
Yeah, a Modemo.
Motimo.
And then it was the SA 2.6
Mm-hmm.
with the Ronin 4 and LiDAR. So it basically moved around, and it would follow the subject wherever they went.
Hey, that's the beauty of the technology, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting. That's kind of where I'm pushing towards, is more like robotic stuff than handheld camera work.
Okay. And for the documentary, what challenges would you say you had, and what was the lesson from it?
Holding down a space. Basically, we had a space. I already knew what the hiccups were going to be in the space about sound.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway through it, there started being like a clapping noise from the fan ceilings. So somebody had to go up there and tape them. But it's basically just getting a sound-treated place, having a place where sound is not an issue, where you can not hear, the planes, the highways, sirens going off. So it's just having a sound-treated studio would be awesome.
Is that I would say that's especially for new environments, like that scout day is very important, right?
Exactly.
Like especially for any commercial stuff, or even just like talking heads, if you have the opportunity to go to a location and scout it
Exactly.
beforehand, it's like you're listening to everything. You're
Exactly.
like, wait, what do I need to prepare for?
Exactly. And it was cool because we got to pull Darcel Walker out for the interviews.
Okay.
So it was very, very
He
awesome.
came through.
Yeah,
Man.
he was there for the first 2 days.
Yeah, Darcel is an amazing sound guy. Known him so long, and I always appreciate it.
Yep, definitely.
But it's always good, I feel like they're the people we found here
Mhm.
doing what they're doing, and they're already masters at it as we're
Exactly.
coming up. But it's good that, you got to bring him back out.
Yeah, it was awesome. Because when I started, the first mentors I had was Darcel and Clay. So
Mhm.
it's like getting to bring him back out and hire him on jobs now. It's pretty awesome.
Paying it forward.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so what's your journey right now? I know we spoke about it a little bit in terms of okay, you are DPing, you're doing audio. What's your journey?
So my journey right now is basically trying to establish my company, getting everything ready to go. So I have a lot of gear that I've been putting together and creating like a rental house with that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just put my Sprinter van in service, and it should be coming back by the end of the week.
Nice.
So it's like trying to get all that stuff in there and trying to create like racks and stuff
Mm-hmm.
and just cart it out basically,
Mm-hmm.
and finding a place to park it basically too. Because it's so big. Like I wish I had the smaller one, but
Yeah.
we have the big roof one. So
Yeah.
it's hard to find a place to park it.
Yeah, that's a good challenge to have.
Yeah.
So with that, setting all this stuff up, the question to you is the why.
I have a lot of corporate clients,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like being able to own all the gear.
Mm-hmm.
I can set the rates and do what I want to do.
Mm.
It's not like, oh, I have to go rent this stuff, or there's not a budget to rent this stuff. It's
Yeah.
like I can make it happen on any type of budget and any type of project. I can shoot short films. We just shot a 2-day short film with Anamorphics
Nice.
last week
Which
with
ones?
Jordan Skipper and Stacy McLean.
Yeah, I know Jordan.
So yeah, they shot those. It was 2 weekends in a row they shot
Okay.
on the Blazer Anamorphics.
Okay, the Blazers. Okay.
It was pretty
We were
cool.
Talking about those, yeah.
I actually won the 65 down in Vegas
You did?
at NAB. Yeah.
At NAB?
Yep.
Okay. I
I
guess.
went last year. So
How did you win? You just.
they had a random like draw, and you just got a ticket, and they pulled the number, and there was like 5 or 6 people they pulled, and they weren't there, so they kept going, and then there's probably like 300-400 people there, and they called my number, and I was just in shock. Wow. And it was last minute too. Like I called my dad. My dad was in DC. He's like, "You want to go to NAB?" And within 12 hours, we booked a ticket, and we both met down there. He was coming back from DC to come to California, and I was just going to NAB.
Nice. And so, okay, you won the 65. Did that inspire you to buy the whole set, or what did you end up doing?
I wanted to. I actually was thinking about buying the whole set, but they actually weren't available because Jordan shot another film called Galaxica,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't get them all, so I didn't buy them. I actually bought the Typoc lenses instead.
You see, as I always say, your gear, you just
Yeah.
go find the name. Is it by name? You're like, nobody knows this one. Let me just grab that one.
They're I do a lot of research on stuff, and
Mhm.
basically they're mimicked lenses of the Lights lenses, the Light 0.8 M's,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which are like $10,000 a lens.
Yep.
So I do a lot of gimbal work and a lot of like handheld stuff. So it's like having a small light lens is really important. And nobody makes lenses like this. It's basically get your own like Canon FDs or Minoltas or the Typocs or the Leicas. So it's like $80,000 for a lens, or go with these $5,000 lenses.
Yeah.
So I went with those. But having them in E-mount is kind of hard. I wish I had them in M-mount.
Okay. What are they in?
They're E-mount for Sony.
E-mount.
Yeah.
Oh, they're Sony E-mount.
Yep.
Okay. And you needed them as what? M?
M,
Okay.
because the PIXIS and the Z camera both have M mounts.
M-mounts, yeah.
And then you can go back and forth. But I have the Z camera, and the Z camera is the only other camera that is E-mount.
Okay.
So you could do that, or you could do the there's one more camera that does it, the Kinfinity. The Kinfinity and the Z camera are the only other Sony cameras that you can use Sony lenses on that are not Sony.
Yeah. Where did Kinfinity go, actually?
I've only played with one. I have a
I know.
friend that has
They
one.
started and they just...
They
went
just came out with a
quiet.
new camera too.
They did.
Yeah, an 8K.
Interesting.
It's pretty cool looking too.
That's interesting on all these cameras. It's always, good to know, like, there's a huge market when the rest of the industry is, like, on Sony, RE, Red,
Mhm.
like, there's all these other tools that
Exactly.
can be used. But, those ones, as we all know, they have a reason why most people gravitate towards those, because if producers, directors are asking for those,
Exactly.
it's hard to keep arguing or going back and forth, even though the other tool is better.
Exactly.
But, it's like, we want to shoot with this. It's like,
Have
and
you,
some of those calls, you're like, why? There's no reason. It's like, oh, yeah, no, you just, that's what we've been shooting with.
exactly. Have you been seeing that nobody's been asking for red lately?
Yes, it's because I feel like Sony took on that market
Okay.
with the 4K
Okay.
and the full frame and Super 35 adaptability on that.
Okay. I can see that.
And then the RE kind of picked up on that side where I think the cost factor, a lot of productions now are willing to have that.
Mm-hmm.
But Red is an interesting camera, right? Knowing it from back then to where it is right now. I'm sure
Mhm.
they probably might make a comeback somewhere in between, or Nikon will do something with it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I haven't had any requests that's like, yeah, we just want Red.
Yeah. Do you still own any V
I
Raptors?
still have a 8K
Helium?
Red. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember back in the days, because that's what got us a lot of work, was having red cameras.
Yeah.
And being able to shoot with red. And it's just like, being in Oakland, that's why I went with Z cameras, because people were still asking for reds, and they wanted Z cameras or they wanted red type cameras for super cheap. And it's like the clients that are asking for these cameras don't know what they are. And they would be like, hey, can you record this? Can you drop this on my laptop? The footage on my laptop. So it's
Like,
like
no.
they see a box camera, they see a battery that says red, they think it's a red, but we're shooting on Z cameras.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and it's
Oh,
like,
because you guys had a game there. Yeah, music video people still love Reds. I think that's where I
exactly.
see a lot of requests on that.
In Atlanta too, they're
In
using
Atlanta,
Reds.
yeah, I have a buddy who's actually been asking about our Red, but they're in Atlanta because they and the reasoning makes sense. A lot of music video, a lot of artists.
Exactly.
That's a label that they associate with.
Mhm.
You know, it's a Red camera. So for you, you said right now you're doing networking.
Yeah, so networking. So big thing is storing all this data. I shoot 8K, 6K, everything's raw. Nothing in MPEG. Mostly is like ProRes.
Huh.
So you have to store it somewhere. So I have like just racks and racks and racks of servers that hold all the storage. I have probably like 500 terabytes of storage that I'm using to store all this stuff. And then you have to have backups of that. So being able to access it and being able to have clients access it from anywhere in the world is a very big need for me in the corporate industry.
That creates a very interesting challenge, though, right? Because it's an open door that you're opening.
So it's not an open door. So there's this thing called Telscale, where it's basically punching holes through networks and then closing them right away.
Okay.
So even if you're behind firewalls or anything, it's able to punch through a hole and then close it and then allow you access. But it doesn't allow them access to everything. So it allows them access to one simple computer, or I can allow them access to all the servers, basically.
Okay.
And you have full control ability. It's called the ACO.
Okay. What systems are you using for this?
So I have Ubiquiti
Okay.
is doing the networking, and that's allowing 10 gigabit fiber to come into the house and spread throughout the studios.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also using TrueNAS. So TrueNAS is a storage server,
Mm-hmm.
which allows you to basically spool a whole bunch of hard drives together and basically store and maintain and just make sure that it doesn't degrade or anything like that.
With Synology.
Synology, yeah.
Most of
I
our
heard about
systems.
those. It's like Synology is cool, but they're doing a lot of weird things where they're making it so that you have to use their hard drives for 2025 versions of their
Really?
devices. Yeah.
Yeah, because ours are all open. We can pick any drives as long as it's a certain rate, and 7200 RPM and up.
Yeah, yeah.
But we've had, I would say, it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had a few scares, but it's been good. We were with what are they called? We were with QNAP before.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
I would not recommend anyone on QNAP. And maybe they're better, but not for us. We lost a lot of data.
Oh, yeah.
And that was not even on our end. The drive, and they explained to us, which is, I think on their part, is it's a full computer. It did an update. It ejected all the drives
Mm-hmm.
on its own update and didn't know how to reconnect those drives.
Yeah, initialize them.
But now we lost everything because all the drives now were cut before they actually had reconciled all the data. So we lost everything.
Did you get rid of those drives or did you rewrite over them?
We had a sync of you said what? We
Rewrite
wrote-
over them.
Yeah, we tried to rework them, but we probably would have recovered if we didn't reuse some of them. But at that point we were already moving into Synology.
Okay.
So, but I know there's a lot of data recovery softwares now that are super.
Yeah, because I just got done with that. So I basically had a server that was running back in since 2016 all the way to 2019. And I got a new MacBook and something happened and the whole thing crashed. So it was 22 terabytes worth of data that I lost. It was basically everything from college.
Oh, no.
And so I took it to a store. They said, yeah, we'll look at it. We'll give you a discount because you're a student. And it was $7,000 to look at it.
To look.
And they weren't even sure if they could get the data back.
No.
So at that time, I was not paying $7,000. So I took them, put them in the closet, left them there for about 5 years. And in the beginning of this year, I just randomly started doing this networking stuff again. And so I put them together, and I was able to get all of my data back, all 24 terabytes.
Hey, did you use any software for that?
Yeah. So I used some software, and then I used some stuff that I actually made myself to get everything back, because basically it was on a RAID, and then I had to basically use the software to get the RAID back together, but the RAID wasn't readable. So I had to use like Terminal basically to look through it, and then I had to use a software called rsync to copy it all over a network, and that's when I got into networking and figuring out what 10 gigabit networking is and all that stuff. So I had to rsync all the data from one server to another server, and then it's weird now because like all these new computers don't have hard drive bays, or even like ways to connect them. So it was like I had to create them, and then it's 4 hard drives, and then I had to move them to another 12 hard drives. So it's like creating these servers,
Yeah.
these huge boxes now to hold
Networking
all
all
these
of them
hard drives.
together.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's a fun system. We got into it, but it's still kind of, at least we have friends who are good at it.
Yeah, yeah.
And we rely on them because we have a bunch of them between our spaces that are all networked
Yeah.
on 10 gig that we run through. But no, it's interesting. It sounds like you're curious and always trying to get into new
Yeah.
ways. So the next question for you is about what we're all looking at right now, AI.
Yeah, AI. So I run a local AI at my house.
Okay.
I have, I think it's 12 GPUs that run at all times, just to do different AI stuff, just to play around. I actually made friends with a server guy down in
Okay.
Hayward, so
Okay.
I get to play with a lot of cutting edge technology.
Okay.
We don't even use AMD or Intel anymore. We use something called Ampere, which is basically ARM processors, and they're made right there down the street by Great America.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool getting to like mess with this stuff. They're like $10,000 to $20,000 servers,
Yeah.
and you get to, and they just boot, and they're quiet. They're very efficient. They don't take that much heat, so it's awesome getting to play with this stuff.
Nice. What are you doing with them?
Creating NASs, basically network attached storages. Basically AI. I have like Olama running, and it runs different LLMs, so you can talk to them. Because getting these computers up, a lot of the stuff is like C++ and coding and different stuff like Rust, and I don't really know that stuff. But using the AI to code the servers is basically like using the servers to code, using them themselves to code themselves,
So
basically.
That's true. That's true. Which tools in AI are you excited about right now?
I've been trying to do like there's different like regenerative AIs you can do. Like there's Eddie AI that allows you to cut and paste podcasts,
Yeah.
so you don't have to edit.
Yeah.
And I've been playing around with that, and it seems like it works,
Okay.
and it's pretty cool to play with. But it's just like I don't want to pay monthly prices for it. I wish I could do it locally and be able to do it myself.
Yeah. Shout out to ADAI. We just had them on our podcast. We just had them on our Vine show.
Okay.
They premiered out there. So that was pretty good to see the tools. But they're doing really well. So
Exactly. Yeah, I got to talk to the engineers with them because there was a lot of stuff that I was trying to do before they didn't have it.
yeah.
And so I got to talk to them and help them incorporate different designs and stuff that they wanted to do.
Yeah. And you know the beauty with I think just with Eddie, from Samir to Robbie, who come from the industry. So it's at least people who are in the industry or have the experience in the industry creating these tools and these answers. So it makes it a little bit seamless because there's the understanding of the pains, and that's where they're trying to come in and address. So that's, I think, a huge plus with having not just engineers making these tools for us.
Exactly.
It's people who understand our pain points that actually are offering us the answers or the solutions to the problems that we have.
Exactly. Because podcasts are coming up. Like in the last couple of months, it's nothing but podcasts. People have been doing podcast after podcast after podcast.
That's true. That's true. And it's, everyone has a story and everyone has a voice, and that's part of why we're having this conversation. It's like, you and I will always have these conversations, but after we're done, but sharing these nuggets, sharing this information to other filmmakers who would gain from it. I think it's a huge plus. And to that is, what advice, from your experience coming up, what advice would you give to any filmmaker who's trying to get into this, or who's working their way into this industry?
I would say learn about audio and learn about lighting. And cameras aren't really that, every camera will make an image. But if you have lighting and audio, your stuff will look a lot better than everybody else's stuff. Because 50% of a picture is audio. You can't have a movie without audio. And a lot of people don't spend time in audio. That's why I picked it up, I think. It's just because I see all these jobs. Everybody wants to be a DP, but nobody wants to be audio. I can sit on my butt and basically get paid almost the same amount of money as a DP. I'll take that job any day.
To you, looking at our industry, do you see it as you treat this as a business and then you add the creative, or more the creative and then the business? How do you balance?
It depends. That's why I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of corporate gigs. So I can basically I look at corporate gigs as business, but then I have a lot of side projects and I'm able to work on other people's projects. And I would say that's where my creative stuff is. And my dad gets on me a lot because I don't make my own stuff. And I'm like, Dad, that costs money. I rather, help somebody else make their stuff and spend their money than spend my own money and try to make my own projects. That's why I like making short films and short things when I can, but making other people's stuff is where I'm more passionate about.
That's good. It's not a lot of creators who are like, yeah, I like the corporate world mostly, because I think it moves around so fast, right? The tech changes every single day.
And that's where I feel like I'm able to work really well, is because I'm able to adapt to a lot of the different technology. Like before a shoot, if I get a new camera, I want to break that camera and know why it broke before I get on that shoot. So if that problem happens on the shoot, I can fix it right away and don't have to think about why is this camera not working or what I need to do. I already know what the situation is because I've mimicked it before and there's no problem there.
Man, that's how do you stay balanced? You said you have a lot of work, but how do you balance between the slow days and the busy days?
Balancing is just, I do a lot of investing in the camera work and the camera technology. So basically having multiple trades is basically like I can do audio one day or I can do camera work. And that's what basically balances me out, is if I'm not getting a whole lot of camera jobs, I'm doing audio jobs. If I'm not doing a whole lot of audio jobs, I'm getting camera jobs. I also do, I have a real estate company that does drone work. So we do a lot of drone flies. And I have my business partner in there. She's actually a real estate agent. So she goes and promotes for us, and then I just go out and fly. And so it's a pretty cool job.
You seem to be wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. With that, like do you have spans? So for you, when you look at where you are right now, and the question is, where do you want to be, and what does that look like?
Right now, I would say I'm in a good spot. I want to expand on the corporate stuff and do a lot more corporate stuff. I used to be all about like music videos and stuff, but I don't want to shoot a music video ever again. I've shot them for all different types of people, large budgets, small budgets, every single artist you could possibly think of, and it's just not fun for me. It's just too much work. They want too much stuff, and their budgets are not big enough.
That's for the projects that you're doing, are you producing most of them and then you're going to the DP or the audio side, or are you how does that work for you?
It's a lot of everything. Like I've been producing. It's hard to try to find, like, people will bring projects to me and they want me to produce them. And then I have a small team that I work with, and they'll step back. I have a gaffer, I have a grip, I have a couple of camera people that I work with, and they all tell me that I need to step back and stop producing, because it's like I'll get on set, I'll get the whole crew together, and we'll be talking, and one of my crew members will be like, right now what you're doing is producing, like you need to hire somebody for this job, because it's like you're playing all the different hats, and it's like you could be spending time doing this or that instead of producing and writing the paychecks and figuring out all the stuff and logistics. So, but it's like trying to hand that work over to somebody else. It's like you have to really trust that person, and it's like trying to find somebody that you can trust with that is very hard.
And how do you so how do you balance that? I'm sure your uh, colleagues
Um,
are telling you that.
just I there's a lot of jobs that I don't take because I know that I can't balance it, and I usually tend to stick to the jobs that I know that I can do and I know I can balance, and that's very easy. So just trying to like stay in my lane and stay like in a medium amount of projects, and not like, try to take some $100,000 project on, which I know, it could go any way you want.
Yeah. How do you look at the state of the industry and the technology?
It's very, very like it could go any way you want. I see people saying that the technology, nobody's going to use cameras anymore. We're just going to use iPhones, but I don't see that happening. And then AI is coming, that might take our jobs, but I don't see that happening either. And then just like you have Arri Alexas, and it's like everybody's shooting on Arri Alexas, but now they're trying to say that the Blackmagic 12Ks are going to replace those, and everybody's going to start shooting on those. And it's just like, I want to buy an Arri, I want to switch to that, but it's just like I can buy two 12Ks, and if that's where the industry's going, you could be out of the door for like maybe $50,000 with two cameras, which an Ari, to get that started, you're at like $130,000. And they're saying the picture quality is just as good, and the dynamic range, because it's like really that's what it's about, is dynamic range. I feel like if you have the dynamic range and you have the photo sites there,
Yeah.
then it's a good camera.
Well, that's true. That's true. I think every tool for its job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not every you can't use each camera for everything, right? Like, and that's where you kind of learn as you go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can use this here, and this is probably a better tool on this kind of project, or just figuring what that is, right?
Yeah.
And it's conversations, like you go through these calls with the director or the producer, be like, what are you trying to really to do?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I know you asked me for this, but you're probably gonna get a better image if we went with this.
Exactly.
But just because it has the name or the brand affiliation that you're connecting with might not be
Exactly.
the exact same thing that you need. If you're trying to shoot 8K with a red camera,
Mm-hmm.
but you're finishing at 1080,
Exactly.
but all this data has to go somewhere.
Exactly.
So it's figuring out how well can we balance. And we are technicians. I count myself as a technician. My
Mm-hmm.
job is also to advise in terms of, okay, I'll put all the information out and then you can make the decision, but I'm gonna kind of open up and explain to you what this would look like if you made
Exactly.
this decision versus if you made this other one.
Exactly. True.
But to that, I think it's gonna be an interesting growth curve with all the things that you're saying, between AI, between cameras. But what excites you right now?
Just seeing things come together, like being able to see my work on large screens. Like we had a screening of one of the movies, and being able to see it in like the Lake Merritt theaters up on the big screen, and seeing.
And which one was this one?
So Pay the Producers, we had that.
That's
during,
the documentary.
the documentary for the mechanics.
For mechanics, yeah.
We had
I missed that screening.
Yeah,
I was invited.
All-Star
and I'm
Weekend.
sorry, I think I was out of town. I think that weekend.
We had a lot of people showed up for that, and it was pretty cool getting to see it in a large screening. And it was just like, it was so fast because we just got done. We were with E40 right at the beginning of the year, and we filmed him for that project, and he took me and the whole crew out for dinner. And so it was very interesting getting to hang out with E40 and drink all of his wine. And we were at the Blackhawk, his private country club.
Yes.
And inside of there, he has like a whole room. It's like a cellar of all of his alcohol. So you can go in there, grab whatever you want, and we're walking around, and he holds his glasses a certain way. So he has the whole crew walking around holding his glasses like a certain way, drinking wine basically. And it's pretty cool getting to like hang out with him and see all this stuff.
Yeah. The beauty of what we do and the paths that we cross, right?
Yeah.
No, it's good to see, the journey and how we all growing into it and proceeding.
Yeah.
For you, I know the mechanics. When do we expect to see it? How can people be able to find it?
So, right now we're in the process of editing it. I just seen a cut maybe about a week ago.
Okay.
And I just talked with the mechanics that actually live in the same apartment complex as me. So I just talked to him this morning about it. And the editor is Vic, and he comes from Eddy Street Films,
Okay.
which is the same people who edited Not Like Us.
Okay.
So getting to work with Vic and he's just going through it, and the project is pretty cool right now.
Okay.
And the way to see it, we don't have a way of seeing it right now because we're trying to transition into a network and basically sell it to a network because we have so many huge artists in it.
Yeah.
And it's looking pretty put together that we're going to try to sell it to one of these large networks.
Nice. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Is there a website or anything anyone can look out for? Or will
The
we just
mechanics
wait for
website, basically.
It will be there?
Yeah.
All right.
But I think it's going to be called Meet the Producers right now.
Meet the Producers.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that. Anything else that you think we should know about you?
Photography. I like doing photography.
Okay.
Yeah. So
What are you using for photo?
right now I'm using a Canon R5
Okay. Yeah.
and then Minolta. I have a lot of old film Minolta cameras. So I have a Minolta CLE, which is basically like a M6, and it's actually more advanced because it has aperture priority, so you can just set your f-stops and it'll automatically shut your shutter speed for you. So being able to play with a rangefinder is pretty cool.
Okay.
And like collecting all these different vintage lenses and in-mount lenses is pretty fun. I own a couple light lenses, pretty sweet, and Minolta lenses. So my dad, like, when he started photography, he shot all Minolta, and so I got most of his Minolta lenses. I have his 100 f2, his 50 1.4, his 35 1.8, and so these are a lot of lenses where Leica and Lights took their builds and their elements from. And I have the original copies of them. So being able to have like a family copy of these lenses is pretty sweet.
That's pretty sweet. Hey, makes them worth.
Yeah. And they're pretty clean too. They don't have a lot of scratches or anything.
Okay.
So it's like I want to play with them, but I don't want to like really take them out of the house.
Like, hey, this is a family.
Yeah.
Family lenses. But no, it's. I think that's where glass is going. Where right now the textures and everything, people are looking for that organic look.
Exactly. And that's what I'm starting to see. It's like not really the camera, it's the glass that does it. So it's like that's how I learned in photography. I have an R5 and I have a T2i. I shoot a lot of like flash photography and I take pictures with the R5 and everybody's like, oh, it's because you have that camera. I've taken the same lens and put it on my T2i and shot the same photo, and they look exactly the same. And it's like, it's not the camera, it's the lenses.
Good glass.
Yeah, lenses and lighting is really where it's at.
Yeah, no, I love it. I appreciate your time. I think this is really good, and we'll keep these conversations happening. Are you still doing stuff? You guys still building a studio there, or what happened to that?
So I actually stepped away from there.
Oh.
I got too busy with the corporate stuff, so I'm just doing corporate stuff right now.
Okay. I thought last time you gave us a tour, there's got to be a big studio back there. We could be going to shoot over there.
Yeah, they just couldn't get their stuff together over there.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Evan.
No
this
problem.
was a pleasure. I appreciate you coming through, sharing all the wealth of knowledge that you've gained this far. I will be on the lookout for the documentary once it's out. I'm sure it's going to be a good one.
Definitely.
And if you guys have any screenings, please don't
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
hesitate. Let me know. I'll
definitely.
be coming through. We're closing out. Thank you for joining us with Evan over here for this podcast series.